Good luck out there, Hunter. Evil lurks beyond Seal's ramparts.
I could do with a cold drink. I could do with a cold drink. I'm overheating here.
I could do with a cold drink.
Warm as dragon's breath.
Back on my feet again. A stitch in time, eh, my friends?
As good as new pin. Another one for the collection.
Potent heat.
Toasty!
Toasty!
I picked him for a dry shirt! I'm warm as fresh apple pie.
Warm as dragon's breath!
Well, what's this I've spotted? On the men! Back on my feet again!
Aha! I have company, I see. And it's such a delightfully opportune moment, too. I'm just about to conduct a small experiment, and if you have an interest in magic and science, you'll oblige me by taking part in it, will you not? I've laced this area with more than a few pernicious little friends who are simply bursting with the anticipation of supper. But they simply abhor uncooked meat, so you may find they'll want to char you before ripping out your throats. Now, your job is to put up a mite of resistance against your inevitable death. Sounds good, yes? Right then. On your mark, get set, go.
Cheery spot we've found in this graveyard. As rife with the signs of necromancy as corpses are with worms. Though perhaps necramatacy is a more fitting, if rather contrived word for what we've witnessed here. To the grave they are drawn, and into the grave they creep, the maggot musterers that plague Sicil with their petty witchcraft. None of them grasp that necromancy, true necromancy, is the pursuit of life everlasting. That its end goal is to play chess with death and topple his king. Necromancy as we know it is an art practiced by base-born dilettantes. That is the real tragedy we are confronted with. Huh. One has been spared and one has been blinded by the swords of ignorance, like so very many have before you. One of you perceives, and one of you decries the ambition, pure and true, that drove the patriarchs of necromancy. Decries it simply because its purity has been veiled of late in the common. Still, I never expected to find much lucidity of mind within the confines of mere huntsmen's skulls. The lucidity that seems to permeate in one of you.
Treasure!
Here lies Miss Anthro, who said she'd rather die than socialize and went to live among the wolves.
Hold! Our enemies have laid a trap.
Final resting place of Bree. Insert something cheesy. Here lies Joe, Syceel's worst shoemaker. He never knew when something was afoot.
Into the fray once more.
Here lies Madame Fulset, dog person. Here lies Cat Jones. Curiosity killed her, after all. Sir Jovel got here with the help of a shovel. Here lies Anne, the finest lady in the lowlands. Here lies Schrodix. We're not actually sure he's dead. Here lies Nazik, who also thinks your name is weird. Here lies Dodson, the finest dancer of them all. Here lies Emmy, Spider Slayer. Here lies Will Loundy. It's Loundy, not laundry, damn it. Here lies Rocco. This is the last hole he
What
filled.
can I do for you? And so let the...
Here lies Lady Charon, whose steaming pies tempted all.
This seems to be broken. I've spotted something. I've spotted something.
Here lies Istrid, knower of noses. Here lies Rocky. Doc, it's only a scratch. Here lies Mark Sism. He was full of great ideas that never worked out.
Dire. As good as a new penny. I needed that. Sweet relief. I am restored.
I needed that.
On the mend.
Here lies Terry the Gravedigger, buried by an amateur. Here lies Eric. He ruined everything. Here lies Nosgoroth, Scourge of the Fifth Sea. Here lies Sinwil, who was allergic to vowels.
Damon, more prey.
Here lies Lady Bravey, a forgetful mum who had 2 babies, maybe. Here lies Sir Oops, whose mother loved him dearly, eventually.
There's something to it, isn't there?
Into the fray once more.
Go on then, Ed. Speak your piece. What a character that Ebenezer is. Preaches more passionately than a priest, only he speaks against the heavens rather than for them. Quite curious. But I've grown fond of him and his eccentricities. I'm but a drowned sailor, like there have been so very, very many. For some reason, he insists he doesn't want to go to the Hall of Echoes, to the afterlife. He claims we weren't cursed, but blessed to roam Rivellon forever. Most of us feel sorry for the poor fellow. Where the dead go to live a proper afterlife. A much more welcoming environ than this dingy cemetery, I'm sure.
Speak your piece.
Come to listen to Ebenezer expound upon the virtues of fine wine and free love. They don't elucidate, but they certainly do entertain. I tend to avoid thinking of the life I used to lead. The life of a traveller, a sailor, a free spirit. Those memories would break my heart, if a heart I still had. For some reason, he insists he doesn't want to go to the Hall of... When we arrive, it'll be to the open arms of all our deceased friends and family. Can't think of a grander event myself.
Go on then, Eb. Speak your piece.
Strange, strange indeed.
My word of warm blood! Welcome to our abode of exile, and pay no mind to Ebenezer there. I think his ship is short of a few sails, the poor fella. I am but a restless ghost, longing for eternal ease. A virtuous life I led, and I long to go to the Hall of Echoes. For some reason he insists he doesn't want to go to the hall. Some say all sinners and saints alike are welcome in the hall. But I've also heard the especially sinful are cast somewhere far worse.
Indeed. My word! A warm blood. I'm but a drowned sailor. For some reason, some say all.
Strange, strange indeed.
A mortal! Aha! Well, surely I don't have to tell you how much better a life or death here in Rivellon is compared to a dreadful eternity in the Hall of Echoes. The name's Ebenezer. Pleased to make your acquaintance. You've probably been meeting some sad souls around here, but I sure as hell ain't one of them. In life, my interests were soft weathers, southern vintages, sun-ripened afternoons, and ample-fleshed companions. Each sense was a source of new and familiar pleasures, and I luxuriated in them all. As a ghost, I admit that many of those pleasures evade me, but Rivellon still smacks of life more than the Hall of Echoes could, though half the fun of fun is sharing your exploits with an eager ear, you know? Oh, what I'd give to find my little buddy again. The best listener I ever had the pleasure of regaling. The final resting place for those deemed worthy of paradise. Paradise after life? Ha! Look around. Paradise is opening your eyes. Or in my case, gazing through the ectoplasm and seeing the wide, wild world around you. Can you imagine anything worse than being stuffed up into oblivion with the rest of the dead? Give me tragedy, chaos, beauty, and delight. My companions would do well to stop pining and start enjoying, no? Beats me. We're hardly the only Sicilians lost at sea. But there's some strange magic afoot of late. The dead can't seem to stay that way. We were all aboard a ship, headed from Arata to fair Sicile. But upon our return, the lighthouse failed to shine its light. We were lost upon the rocks and flung far and wide upon the tempestuous waves. The ship that sunk and turned us all into phantoms, she was home to a sweet old tomcat, Oscar by name, who'd curl up cozy as can be on my pillow. We shared many stormy nights while I scratched his little chin and whispered stories of my youthful exploits. But I reckon cats don't stay on as ghosts after they pass, 'cause the little furball is nowhere to be seen. That, or the lucky bastard managed to survive the wreck. He was a scrappy old fellow after all. That's it, kiddo. Explore as much as you can while you've got that youthful The ship that sunk, but I reckon cats don't stay...
Strange, strange indeed.
Go on then, Eb. Speak
a minute. Speak your piece.
There's something to it, isn't
Back on my feet again.
I assume you address... Good. No...
Here is Isis, a rock in crisis. Here lies Whitney, the fancy atheist, all dressed up and nowhere to go. Here lies Elzakir, the last living Alman. Here lies old Shifty. He knew, I tell you. Here lies Helen. Her eyes could start wars.
Damon, and so let the...
Here lies Paz Thomas. He lived as a writer, but rests as an author. Here lies Gordon, the world's finest feline. Here lies Wallenzent, defiler of thoughts. Here lies Tom B. Stone. He hated puns until his dying day. Here lies Ali Gori the Witch. We made an example out of her.
Go on, Leonard. Speak your piece.
I'm almost certain I saw Ebenezer's old cat in the King Crab Inn. But that's impossible, isn't it?
Here lies Montgomery, cat person. you try to enter the church, the statues that flank its heavy oaken doors address you.
Hold your horses, stranger. This holy hall may be entered by those who are loyal to the goddess only. And even eyes of stone can see you are no such creature. Ha! Who are those loyal to the goddess, it asks. They are those who have seen the powers of blood, ignorant one. They partake in the knowledge of old. Blood is life. Blood undoes death. Such is the wisdom you cannot even conceive. It is a wish we cannot grant, unless you prove you have knowledge of the goddess. Answer us therefore the following question. How is she known among the loyal, the exalted one, she who speaks for the goddess? Such piety, we cannot remain as stern as the stone we are shaped from. Go! You may enter the church. The loyals are lucky to count you among their number.
Ah, Source Hunter. Have you come to lend your blood to our cause? How much simpler all this would be if only it was so. Still, I cannot blame you for struggling against me. What reason have you to trust me that your efforts are misplaced? But now, with Brachus Rex nearly risen, there's little more you can do to hinder me. Perhaps for the better. When we first met on the beaches of Sicil, I underestimated you. That blunder has cost me dearly. Still, after all, you need not know more than this. The end is coming. The end of sorrow. The end of pain. Those who oppose me oppose peace itself. And here I thought you'd seen it yourself. Tell me, What is the imp historian doing, if not begging you to divert the void? So, you're familiar after all. You know as well as I that the void is coming. In fact, if I'm very precise, it's already here. But you need not be afraid. The void is ourselves. We are destined to rejoin it. I have chosen a dark and dangerous path, but I vow that those sacrificed have not suffered in vain. My only wish for all of Revellon is the soft hush of silence. Brachus Rex was the forefather of our cause, the original Immaculate. His resurrection brings Revellon one step closer to the ultimate solution. Dissolution. Wouldn't you like to meet him? The sorcerer your order was formed to destroy. I'm certain he'd love nothing more than to meet you. Follow me. Find out.
The altar won't budge.
There simply has to be some kind of mechanism that operates it.
Maybe the lock can be jimmied. Hidden switch. Perhaps it has something to do with opening that hatch. A switch much like the first. Could there be more? Three down. But how many to go? got you.
What was that? I heard the sound of scraping in the main hall. I should slow down.
So many folks in dark robes passing through here. I've always wondered if those fancy yellow necklaces they're always flashing are made of cheese.
Strange magic here. How will we deactivate it?
That cultist must have used some kind of key or spell to get through.
The immaculate amulet fits perfectly inside.
Malia. Precious Malia. I'm a fool. Please. You... Source Hunter. Ha. By the health of the Seven, you're here. There may yet be hope. Perhaps you remember me as a healer. But gods, what a herald of death I've become.
So many folks in...
Strange magic here. How will we deactivate it?
That cultist must have used some kind of key or spell to get through.
The immaculate amulet fits perfectly inside.
Source Hunter. Ha. By the health of the Seven, you're here. There may yet be hope. Perhaps you remember me as a healer. But gods, what a herald of death I've become. I'm beyond redemption now. But you alone may save Cycile, may save all of Riverland from the horror I've summoned. Brachus Rex from the tales of old. He lives. The mad Source King, the Lord of Chaos. I have awakened him. I've done a terrible thing. I've raised a mad king from beyond the grave. I imagined so very foolishly that I'd be able to extract an ancient secret from him. But with a simple flash of his arcane magic, I was finished. I'll tell you all I know, Source Hunter. Resurrected, revived. The king lives, but not as the man he once was. He retains the mark of death upon him, like a festering wound. The last of the mad Source Kings he was. The tyrant who nearly condemned Riverland to oblivion. He began the War of Wars, marching brother against friend, until every land and home burned with death. It was during this dark time that your order, the Source Hunters, was formed. Brachus was defeated, and Source outlawed from the land. I was given a great stone. A bloodstone, but more charged with life than any I'd seen before. The conduit said it would imbue Brachus with life enough to share the secret she craved. But what he has become, his powers have all returned, and I cannot stop him. Brachus was a dangerous monster, but he achieved things no man or mortal could have dreamt of. He alone is said to have known a great secret. How to break the Forge of Souls. I promised to extract this secret for a woman calling herself the Conduit. In exchange, she vowed to reveal to me a certain power of her own. In hindsight, I see that I dealt with the devil, and I've received my damnation. Curse her name, her hell-sent promises. She claims to be a link between her goddess and the world of men. I never believed her divine claims, but I could not deny her great power. It was she who showed me that Bloodstone could be used for more than healing. Her stones, particularly powerful and potent, could raise the dead. What could turn any soft soul towards wickedness? My weakness was love, and it was love that she promised me. The conduit had shown me how to raise skeletons and zombies from their graves. But what I craved was something far more rare. A second life. A true second life for my wife, Malia. She was a beautiful soul, snatched from the world of the living far before her time. Now the conduit's promise seemed simple. A secret for a secret. I'd tell her how to break the soul forge, she tell me how to bring Malia back. My failures. My failures are so many. I can hide them no longer. In my pursuit of the Source King, I've called forth abominations that neither I nor any other can destroy. The ghoul that guards the lighthouse, the Baron of Bones, the twins by fire joined. Their ghastly faces haunt me, and they in turn have rifled through the graves and sarcophagi of Cecile in search of undead minions. Undead, Source Hunter? Unkillable? I fear this plague may never end, no matter how many times the rotten dead are defeated. You can defeat the unholiness I've raised, Source Hunter. You can save the countless innocents that will perish under the Source King's mad fist. I pray... No, I believe you can reverse my failures.
So, Celeron believed that by unleashing these monsters, he'd learn the secret to resurrecting his beloved wife. Aye. In Celeron's position, I'd wager many of us would do the same.
So many... There sure is a lot going on behind this door. Someone ought to do something about all that muck on the floor,
One who comes. Oceans of fire will flow, and the earth shall take the guise of hell. One who comes to watch the spectacle, to see the sovereign of the Source ascend again. Or perhaps you are the first in a long new line, the first that will try to stop my dominion again. by the emerald eyes of the goddess, would you believe that I can still feel it ever so vaguely? The force of the stab that cleft my heart and sent my soul shivering into death. But my followers have done it. Ha! They have done it like I knew they would. Blood, the thick red gravy, the source of souls, has been yielded unto star-sent stones and has swept away the eternal shadows. How long has it been, I wonder, my first repose in death? An hour? The time it takes the seas to tear down cliffs. It is of no matter. I live, and I shall claim my throne anew. A fable I may have become as time dragged on, but a fact I am once more, little one. Don't you, don't all of you miserable mortals realize that they who are one with Source have thrown off the burdensome mantle of death forever? I embraced Source. I drank it, made it part of my blood and my being. And so a warlord became a sorcerer, and a sorcerer became a king. The fools of this world dubbed me a tyrant, for the gods convinced them I was such, fearful as they were of my rise in power. Armies amassed, too many. Scores I slew, too few. Death took me, too soon, but not for all time. Not a thing. There was a woman once that went by that name, until I mangled her body into that of a lich. Oh, my sister dearest, Cassandra and her man-cat. Mere pets of mine, the both of them. Tools to bruise and break as I saw fit. They bled so very beautifully. The reason for my resurrection, O simplest of spirits, is that I was destined to be. Were it not for the vainglorious fools that raised me now, it would have been another, perhaps wiser being that would have done so in time. And time is of no matter, only to be. Eternally, a woman seeks my secret, for her soul is entwined with another's, yes. Where once they were inseparable, now they have grown apart in purpose and intent. But my secrets are mine to keep. Perhaps when she lies shivering before me, pledging alliance to her king, I will break her forge before I break her. A source hunter. So you are, though you are so much more, and do not even know it. No matter, they still smell like you do, by the by, your brother and sister hunters, as they closed in around me that first time. Fear, that most sly, most intangible of sense, drowned out soon afterward by the acid stench of urine. I had but to look at them, and they rusted their chainmail where they stood. I undid so manifold they had to wade through the gore of the fallen. Oh, what a feast, what fountains of gravy we had. Alas, that there were too many, as there clearly are too many of you still. Although life renewed has made me rather peckish, And from the looks of you, you need but the slightest of squeezes to make squirt the sauce's sauce from your soft, fleshy shell. Yes, look at you. Plump as a leech bulging with freshly sucked blood. Oh, I do believe, as my servants would say as they brought in a squirming, plump girl on a plate, that dinner is served. The reason for my resurrection. A woman. No man. Alas, yeah.
Is not love a wonderful thing, my friend? Oscar, you say? I haven't been called Oscar in ages. Boy, does that bring back memories. It's the name the ship's cook gave me when I was but a kitten. I remember him rewarding me with bacon every time I caught another rat. And I remember listening to a fellow called Ebenezer, who used to tell me the wildest story. A strange bird, that one. Used to indulge in every pleasure of life like there was no tomorrow. Guess there was no tomorrow for him, come to think of it. He would talk everyone's ears off about the delights of fine dining, his fascination with new fashions, about the elation of lovemaking, and so on and so forth. To me, though, never suspecting his revelations would be stored in my mind, he'd whisper of the shadow sides of his indulgent character. Fine dining, yes, on human flesh even. New fashions, sure, even if they meant the annihilation of a species for its hides. Lovemaking, indeed. But sometimes the girls were very young and suffered delicate tortures. Some died in his special chambers, but would still be used. A strange bird, as I'm sure you'll agree. If he were a bit smaller, I might have caught him like I would a sparrow and rid the world of his hidden evils. By all means.
Here lies Thas the Grumble Goblin. Grumble, grumble.
Face the unending darkness.
Go on then,
Marion
speak your
haste, repenting at
There's
leisure.
something to it, isn't there? Strange. Strange indeed.
Here lies Anamatopea. Whoosh, bam, splat, and she was gone.
Go on, then. Speak your piece.
Strange indeed. There's something to it, isn't there?
That's it, kiddo. Explore as much as you can while you've got that youthful... Beats me. We were all aboard a ship. The name's Ebony. In life, as it goes, though half the fun of fun. The fine... Can you imagine, Anna? The ship that sunk... But I reckon cats don't stay on as ghosts. How did you... How could you? Those are lies. It was the ultimate pleasure. Oh, how could I hang back if there were even rarer, even more exquisite elations to pursue? How could I let any morsel of satisfaction go untasted in this brief mortal coil? Surely now you understand why I could never submit myself to the judgment awaiting me at the gates of the Hall of Echoes. No. I prefer to remain here for an eternity with a few of my senses, a few of my more delectable memories, than risk being cast into hell.
Strange. Strange indeed.
There's something to it, isn't there?
Strange indeed.
Agreed. Let this old ghost spend the next eon pretending he's living a life of splendor, while the rest of the world moves on without him.
Ah, you must be, like me, a fully fledged friend to experience. Ha! Leave paradise to those who lived safe and small, who never risked tipping the great scales out of their favor. To life!
There's something to it, isn't there?
Oh, don't pity me. This is the best fate old Ebony...
Into it, isn't there?
Go on then, Ed. Speak your piece.
Strange. Strange indeed.
Warm as dragon's breath. I'm overheating here. Know much about... Sorry, sir. Good to have you back, Source Hunter. A sight for sore eyes. Legionnaire, your word is my command.
You smell like a hero. The hero I've been waiting for. A hero. A hero. I've got a bone to pick. Well, I've got no bones to pick, you see? And that's the problem. My friend and I collected a quite big pile of edibles from these shambling undead. A smorgasbord on feet, I say. But a band of wild wolves chases off of it. If you follow me, I'll lead you straight to him. I bet a hero like you could shake him off in a matter of minutes. I'll lead the way, hero.
I'm as cute and fluffy as nature made me, okay, Source Hunter? No eerie magic involved. No need to get... What? It's not because I'm a white rabbit that I'm going to lead you down a magical rabbit hole. Anyway, it ain't holes around here. It's wells.
welcome you.
I sense our enemies have woven a perilous web here.
I see a trap nearby. Careful, I've spotted a trap.
Careful, I've spotted a trap.
Careful, I've spotted a trap.
Look out! I see a trap nearby.
Look out! I see a trap nearby. Look out! I see a trap nearby.
Back on my feet again.
Careful now, that's a trap. Careful now, that's a trap.
insult is this? A heartbeat do I detect? Revolting. Life. Here, in the court, where once sat Brachus Rex. His long dormant pulse alone may alight this crumbled hall anew. How contemptuous you are to venture among the risen, to behold my lady's bare bones with brazen contumely. The blessed resurrector, he promised me no mortal would dare defy us, and yet you are here, despite the damned and the dead. The mighty Diedrich am I, ear-time Knight Commander in the army of the King. Now a sovereign I am too, the Baron of Bones and feudal lord of the undead. It is to me they owe their allegiance, for I have restored them all to life that is not life. Your presence here has startled me, but in the end it matters not. The city of the living will fall, the walls will crumble, the houses shall be tombs, and I, the great and powerful Diedrich, loyal vassal of Brachus Rex still, will rule the dominion of the dead. His name I do not know, only his intent to raise the long-defeated Brachus. He rose me from the dead, my blessed resurrector, so that the powers that rest in me, the power of a guardian of the king, would permeate the land. All have they risen, the guardians of Brachus. I, his knight commander, and his horrors too. The ghoul that guards the lighthouse, and the twins by fire. We welcomed him, the animator of our bones, for his intent is glorious. We welcomed him because we owe him. You, I don't owe anything but to stop your accursed heartbeat. Brachus Rex he is to you, insolent filth. He was the one through whose veins coursed sorcery more thickly than did blood. And it shall course again, this time, forever. Deep beneath the earth he lies, but soon the very clouds will stoop to his will, and the very heavens he shall command. Hail to the king, all hail. Indeed you shall not, defiler of bare-boned empresses. My hallowed revitalizer shall raise Brachus Rex and thereby restore sorcery to the land. My own legions grow with the cessation of every heartbeat and the stirring of bloodless flesh and bone. Accept my command, the command of the Baron of Bones, and you shall be a general in my army. Resist, as I know you will, and your skulls will look on through eyeless sockets as the rest of your skeletal remains will be employed to amuse my undead dogs. Arise, my vassals. The Baron of Bones demands your fealty.
Your death is at hand.
I'll beat you.
strangle this frightful foe!
It is of no real matter, vile intruder you! Brachus Rex will raise him again!
Vermin! Deliverance! No glory in this death! out! I see a trap nearby. Appears to be locked. Look out! I see a trap nearby. Look out! I see a trap nearby. Look out! I see a trap nearby. Seven, I am restored!
Silence awaits you.
Careful, I've spotted a trap. This shack looked abandoned, but it seems to be a secret laboratory of some kind. Theleron. It's Theleron who's been raising the dead around Sicile. Well, what's this I've spotted? I'm warm as fresh apple pie.
Well, what have we here? A wee wanderer wandering after a wonderful wishing well? I'm Walter Wellington McWishingwell. Well met. Won't you call me Polly, though? It was that my brother William, why, he was a winsome well, would hand out wishes with me. But he's since been whisked off to somewhere wild and wintry, and poor Wally's been left to whinge and wax all by his onesie. Oh, my poor wayward William. He was snatched away by the wicked Winter King and whisked into a wild world of whirling snow. I wonder, would you be willing to take a whack at bringing Willie back? I would weep wishes for weeks if I could see him again. I can teleport you to the Winterland right now. Well, you know where to find me when you wish to go. Would that I could, but without my dear brother, I'm a woeful wisp of my former wonderment. We work in tandem, you see, and Willie's always been stronger. He might manage to work alone, but I'm a weakling without him with me. I wish you well.
Into the fray once more. As good as a new penny.
Well, what do you wish to say? Words are like wine, you know. Will them well or wake up weak and woeful. I'm Walter. It was that my brother William, why he was... Would that I could... but I wonder, would you be willing? I can teleport you. Give William my regards. Send him my good wishes. Now wave. Bye-bye.
Brothers, allies, friends, willfully wrenched apart by a wicked wretch.
I admit it with a weighty heart. I am weary. I am worried. I, William Wellington McWishingwell, am not well at all. I was snatched by the wild and wicked Winter King, Boreas the Wretch, and whisked into this prison. It was a wish he wanted, and a wish I had to grant. But I'm weary of thinking of the hows and whos and whys. There's no way to Heimerheim, of course, the winter realm of the land of Fairy. At which winter worlds have you been weekending, if not Heimerheim? Oh, my Wally, oh, Wally, what a wonderful well is he! Won't you give him my regards when you see him? In fact, would you like me to whisk you to him now? Wally's always within reach when you're with Will. Would that I could whoosh after him myself. Well, oh, how I wish there were, dear wanderer. This woeful abode is sealed fast and can only be opened from without.
Were there another entrance into this winterland, however, you might be able to help. Wherever your wanderings may take you, remember, if you find a new way into the winterland, don't forget your friend, Willie.
The wily Winter King used a wicked scroll to steal me. Perhaps if you found that scroll, you could use it to whirl me home to Wally. I believe he'll keep it among his other valuables, to wit, the treasure room.
I don't see a way past this barrier. Not around here, anyhow.
There must be a way, though. I'm sure of it.
Would that I... Very